Yeah, he's coming. Here he comes.
Thunder sounds on the ridge top, a gobbler hammering in the treetop. Gotta head up the hill and be real still. Ain't nothing else to give me this thrill. Wings beating on the branches, caught a glimpse of where he landed. He's 100 yards coming, now he's running right down the end of this loaded gun. I'm a running gun from the break of the sun. Gotta cut 'em off and get in front. I can't sit in a trance, I'd take the chance till I find one that wants to dance, son. Sometimes I wonder about my never-ending hunger for chasing thunder. And age catches up, I reminisce about my good luck while I sit in my blind, try to rewind time and wait for Tommy Turkey to walk on by. I'm a running gun from the break of the sun. Gotta cut 'em off and get in front. I can't sit in a trance, I take the chance till I find one that wants to dance, son. Sometimes I hunger, for chasing thunder. For chasing thunder. Set my alarm clock for 6 in the morning, but I jump out of bed about 10 till 4. I didn't get to sleep till 3 a.m. Thinking about gobblers and big ripe hens, waiting on the time when conditions are right. It's turkey time. Old Tommy Turkey sets the woods on fire, strutting and a drumming and burning with desire. Hit him with the yelp from my old mouth call, and he turns around and listens, spans his feathers out tall. Come a little closer for a real surprise. It's turkey time. Crazy birds are ruling my life 24/7, 365. Spending my life chasing a dream of long beards dragging big hook spurs, falling for the sound of my sleek corn bird, running to me, setting out by an old oak tree. Oh, it's turkey time. Got a chalk white head and it's turning blood red. His beard's a swinging like a noose. This could be the end. 60, 50, 40, 30 yards full throttle. Then he makes a stand with his last big gobble. Mashed potatoes and gravy on a plate just right. Oh, it's turkey time. These crazy birds are ruling my life 24/7, 365. Spending my life chasing a dream. Long beards dragging big hook spurs, falling for the sound of my sleek corn bird, running to me, setting out by an old oak tree. Oh, it's turkey time. You done gobbled your last gobble, Mr. Tommy Turkey.
Hey, well, there's no more preseason and there's no more dreaming about it. It's on down south. Hey, I've already been to Florida, opened in Mississippi this past weekend. Let's catch up on the Mossy Oak Go app, see exactly what happened.
Hey, it's always good to know the dirt, man.
Look at the Spurs. This thing is a stud.
Yeah, right off the bat, right after the rain, we got 2 turkeys down. So now it's time for Riley and I to hunt. There's 2 of them. And so we go out, walk across this pine down, out this little road through this beautiful stand of like mixed hardwood pine. He said there's a big bottom down through here and it comes up and there's a big hayfield on the other side. He said they like to hang out in that hayfield. Sure enough, blow the crow call, 2 turkeys gobbled.
I mean, the first place we stopped, good gosh. All right, let's ease up here.
I've never had the opportunity to turkey hunt in Georgia before, so killing my first turkey in Georgia was it's something I've wanted to do for a long time.
You ready? I'm gonna go ahead and yelp, see if we can get him to answer.
We were sitting right in the corner where a road, 90s. We're looking straight this way because the turkeys are right off the road, right up this road. So we just assumed, maybe it's kind of thick in the woods, but, we just assumed they'd come up the road, which is always a mistake in turkey hunting. You should never assume that they'll do anything you want them to do.
Dude, they just came a long way. They're in these woods to the right, Tom. They're coming to the right. They're coming to the right. I can hear them drumming. I can hear them drumming. Here they come. I think I can see one in the woods. They're drumming so loud. Oh my gosh, they're so close. They're coming to the right. There they are, coming down the road to the right. There he is, coming down the road to the right. Be 40 yards, I can kill him. I can't. I'll shoot the second one. I'll kill the second one. I don't know if I have any breath left. I can't breathe.
First one was a freaking right action.
My heart has not beaten like that in a long time. In the afternoon, gobbling like that.
We didn't have a heck of a day, didn't we?
I mean, they came out saying, nice 2-year-old, the perfect kind. Man, I mean, from hitting the crow call, hammer, and then calling them up, and they stayed right here in this thick stuff. God, I don't know how long. I saw him out there for a second, and then they stayed there 15 minutes, and I've never heard turkeys drum that much. Oh my gosh, what a hunt. That was incredible. That's why you turkey hunt. That's why we do it.
So Neil kills his, and we immediately say, all right, where we go next, Tom? And it's my turn to kill one, and I'm pumped up because this never happens. Tom takes us to another spot. We go and check this field. We park and we look down over a ridge. We see turkey strutting, and we run back. Circle around them, get in the woods. We get on that turkey, and he smelled a bug. I don't really know what happened. He just kind of came to the edge of the field, skirted around the edge, and walked 60, 70 yards through the woods away from us. Might have had a chance to shoot him at one point, but just decided, you know, it's not worth it. Day 2, we wake up, and again, it's muggy, it's been raining. We pull up to this spot that Tom's kind of been saving. It's a beautiful spot.
And you're about 200 yards.
Where do you think we ought to get?
Get rid of everybody's pine tree, not behind you.
Where do you think they're gonna come from? They sound like they're that way.
They're gonna come up that road or either come up this way right here. So we should be good if we stay.
All right, let's do it. I can hear him drumming. You hear him, Tom? He's to the right. I thought he was straight in front of us. Where? Oh, dude, they're right there. Yeah. Dude, what a... Hey, throw this on safety real quick before we do anything. Good night, wow. What about it, man? That is, what, 4 turkeys in 2 days? We killed 3 yesterday?
Yeah.
This bad boy today?
Yeah, first place we went this morning, I thought it was a sure thing. We didn't hear anything.
I mean, it's a terrible morning, man. I mean, not a terrible morning, but it's terrible weather. It's muggy, it's hot, mosquitoes are out.
We came back here, this is about the last stop for us to see, but let's go back to the truck and
Hit that crow call.
Crow
Sure enough,
call,
they
yeah.
fired up off of it.
shoot, they probably got me 15 or 20 times. Like
Oh
we
yeah,
coming in.
hammering, double gobbling.
When we all got the call and got them fired up, I knew it was over with then.
Dude, that is a awesome turkey, man. I really appreciate it. It's been an awesome 2 days for sure.
We had a heck of a time.
Hey, you know, it's fascinating to me, but one of the big mystiques about turkey hunting is calling. And I've judged contests, got in some early. I figured out real quick that wasn't my forte, but hey, not everybody sounds like Dave Owens on the Pinhoti Project. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It's all about where you're sitting on the ground. That calling sounds good, but I promise you, if you took a hen, put it in the contest, she'd probably finish last. So, hey, if you don't sound like Dave Owens or Paul Butsky or somebody, don't let that slow you down. It's never slowed me down.
Ibuprofen, heartburn, old sus. Yep.
Make sure you take the right one so you know where you are. Daylight.
Yeah. Old bicycle.
Man, I do not miss this part of it. I miss a lot of it. I miss a lot of it every year. This is that one part that I do not miss.
Well,
We had to make a mad dash in here. Or not a mad dash. We're actually doing exactly what we'd intended, but we were at our little parking destination and this gentleman pulls up. We've been there about, I don't know, what, 15 minutes or so? Yeah. He gets out of his truck. We started going ahead and heading in, given the traffic. And he asks us where we're going. Of course, I just say, you know, out this way. And then he asks us, are you going out here to the so-and-so side with that tram road? That's exactly where we're going. I said, yeah, we're going to be out there. He says, well, we got 2 blinds set up on that road. I was like, okay. If you see them blinds, don't set up around them. I said, look, brother, so we got here first. That's the way it works with public land. I said, you know, we're going to be on that road and we're going to the Gobbling Turkey if we can hear him in the wind. Well, we was in here yesterday. Like, okay, sorry, if you wanted the spot, you should have got here first. That's kind of the way it works on public land. Somebody beat you to your spot, grit your teeth, and go plan B, you know? You can only address these things with a level head and tell him that you can't very well bow down and say, oh yeah, go to your blind. Even though we beat you here, even though I come in here and scouted early last week and found the spot I wanted to be. Ain't privatized public land, ground blinds, tree stands. I don't mean it's your spot. I try to be courteous, but that ain't the way any of this works. So, needless to say, it's probably gonna be an interesting morning. So that second blind is right here where I want to be. The boys had some good spots. Unfortunately, they didn't get to their spot early enough. So there's some interesting birds down here, ain't there? Yeah. I think I just heard a toucan. You don't think it was a toucan? What's his name? Toucan Sam. Fruit Loop one? Yeah, Sam. That's gotta be a toucan. And that wind died just at the right time. Oh, I hope it stays like this. Yeah. There comes a headlamp. Yep. And here we go, right at gobble time. How's it going?
I was gonna sit one, but you guys gonna fucking hang right there.
Well, we're waiting on a turkey to gobble. That's the way it works, man.
Yeah.
Where you got? Hey, what's going on now? What are your plans?
Waiting for a turkey to go.
Well, buddy, we got here first. That's just how it works.
You would have been here yesterday.
That's fine, but you needed to get here first if you wanted, you know? I mean,
there
we're
was
just
no
gonna...
pressure yesterday. You know, everybody had their own little spots, you know?
That's cool, dude.
What did you sign up for those guys?
No, that's cool. Like I said, I don't want to get into it.
If you want to sit in the blind, that's cool. We're going to stand here for turkey gobbles. We're going to go to
Then
it.
we're going to go to it too, you know?
That doesn't make sense, buddy.
I know it. When you seen that blind, I would fucking at least went down to the
That's
corner.
where we're going to... Dude, I scouted here all last week, and I heard birds.
Were you riding a bicycle?
Okay, yeah. The thing is, in order to hunt a spot for public land, to be respectful, you get there first, and then whoever gets there first gets a little buffer zone. That's fine.
I understand that, but if I want my personal self, if I see...
It's right there.
Yeah, that's it. We're not hunting.
Your grandma.
That's fine. We're just going to ease our way back to that corner. You know what I mean? We're going to go to that fence road then.
If the turkey gobbles back there.
Go with it.
That's only 350 yards, dude.
So what do you want me to do?
I want you to go find a spot, maybe go back down the road where the first blind was.
There's another blind there. There's someone sitting in there.
I don't know what to tell you. Y'all were hunting together.
There's someone sitting in that barn already?
You came with him. He told me that
was already here, yeah.
Yeah, that's y'all. So why don't y'all go sit? Y'all can't hold up a whole road. That's not the way it works.
Y'all got 2 ground blinds? That's your other ground blind on the way in too, right?
Yeah.
So who's sitting in it?
He is, the other guy.
Who's sitting in this one?
Me and him. I was going to try and film for him. He was going to sit in one. I was going to try and film for him. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. You're going to try to film for him, but y'all are going down here?
Well, now because y'all are hanging out, bro.
That's not a turkey hunt. It's not deer hunting.
All right, well, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
Right.
I drove 1,100 miles too,
Yeah.
and scouted for a week. If your truck would have beat me here,
We would be somewhere else.
We'd be somewhere else. I'll put my life on it.
It's the way it works, man. I mean, like I said, if you would have been the first to the gate, we would have. If y'all had said, "Hey, we're going this way," we said, "All right, we'll go that way," or we'd have went to it. I'd actually pulled out and go to another spot.
Probably wouldn't have been part of the same gate.
Yeah.
We're not
No,
trying
hey,
to-
look,
I'm
listen,
not trying to be,
We're trying to be respectful,
difficult.
We are too. You know, this is how public land is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but
But what you don't do is come in at daylight and then go walk past somebody. You can hear this whole place from standing right here.
we heard them yesterday. We know.
Okay, so then why would you not give us buffer and be respectful as a sportsman, as a fellow sportsman who understands how to turkey
Back to
hunt?
my blind.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit right there.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
And if we see your turkeys, we're out of here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good luck.
You too, buddy.
Good luck.
Joys of public land. Public land turkeys are not any harder to kill than private land turkeys, but it's harder to kill a public land turkey for reasons like this right here. There's hens over here cutting in the woods across from us. Can't believe we're in a turkey colony with that. I don't know. I just don't like doing this. We're probably finna go across because somebody ends up getting shot in these type of situations, you know. Just ain't worth it. You know, I feel like right here is where we're supposed to be. We dove in here into this stuff. It's that kind of stuff that the turkeys will stay in, but they can see you and you can't see them. I feel like we're playing Russian roulette. That's why I didn't want to get off that road, but given the situation, we gave that road to those guys, so. Problem is, I don't know if we can hear them, I don't know if they can hear us, and I don't know if they'd gobble if they could hear us. Nothing. Yeah. Got a hen yelping out in this timber here. We're gonna try to slip up and I think it's a hen in it. It's so hard to tell. That's a hen for sure. Hens hate a trumpet.
Huh?
Hens hate a trumpet. Hmm?
11 mile an hour, they're like more than 18 mile an hour by 10 o'clock.
There she comes. I see her. As you can probably hear, wind's getting it now. And the sun has peeked out, so the clouds have moved, but it is it's impossible to hear anything next to these old cabbage palms and palmettos and whatnot in the wind. So it's well, we've made it to the third day of turkey season, and we're the first ones at the gate again, which doesn't always mean you got the spot, as we saw yesterday, but we got an argument for the spot today. Got the wind again.
Man, that's almost crippled us yesterday.
And for sure crippled us. When that daggone wind blows them dead palm fronds, you can't hear nothing. you hear that? The turkey just gobbled over there, straight across. It is 6:30. Straight across. Yep. We can get down there and play ball with him, probably, can't we?
Yeah, because you can take that hit that road right there, hit that hedge road.
Yeah. We're close to him. It is like 30 minutes before he's supposed to gobble.
30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah. It's 45 minutes before breaking daylight and he's gobbling. So we're finna take advantage of that and see if we can be close. over here. She's going to him. Let you go. Gobbler flew down, came to our side of the big oak hammock, but he's got about a blue million hens with him. He was roosted with them, and we were hoping that we could talk the whole flock into flying out our side, and I guess they kind of did. They all came right past us, but he came out probably 150 or 175 down from us, and everything moved toward him, and he's only gobbled 2 times since being on the ground. We're over here in the woods, gonna try to slip down that way and see if we can't put our eyes on them. But there's a bunch of them, so it's gonna be an endeavor for sure. We're still slipping. We've picked up the pace 1 notch over snail because we feel like these turkeys are moving away from us a little quicker than typical turkeys would. And I'm Jake caulking and stuff because that's what we're hoping we can get to let us know where they're at, is the Jakes, because he's not gobbled much at all after hitting the ground, so I'm not expecting him to gobble. See where he's at. See, you got that big old clump and that little clump to the right. You got obviously that line, there's a canal on the left of them and behind them. There ain't no cover on the right side. And that road you see on that map, I think is that tree line over there. That's like a 2.5 hour event. You know what I'm saying? The question is he still sitting there spinning and drumming in 2.5 hours with that sun popping up? He's going to shade somewhere. So he's 296. How far is in Palms right there? 100 yards? Yeah. That's still easy too. Looks like he's going. He's walking fast. Is he? Yeah, he was. Which way did he break? He's just milling. Yeah, let's make a move for it while we're milling. We're busting a move. Trying to cover ground quickly. Maybe we'll have a canal and a wet spot across up here. So we're probably fixing to get wet, but this wind could finally be our friend rather than our foe if we can get in position on him. Alright, we just laid our eyes on him. He is with that flock of turkeys. They're moving to the right. If we can keep moving to the right, we'll get this oak hammock between us and we can make a big move across this. Hope they don't have a hole in that oak hammock and can see us. That'll be bad. But we're fixing to run. We're fixing to skirt. Let's go. See? Where are we at now? Straight on. Oh yeah, there's a gobbler right there. See? I just wonder what they do to the cone. Because he's got Jake's with him. I wonder if I could caulk. Get him to come. Why don't you just try to sneak up to that end cabbage palm right there and kind of get in behind it? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that way though. Well, that didn't work out. Thought it was going to work out, man. When they got behind that oak hammock, we made that push on them. I guess we just couldn't get there fast enough, and they were already 120 yards on the other side of the oak hammock when we got there. I hollered at them across the call. Jugger gobbled at it, and they turned and walked straight away at a fair pace. Then they got over there in some tall grass, and it seems like they've slowed down, so I guess we're fixing to try again.
If it keeps blowing like this, boy, we ought to be able to just walk right up on him. Yeah, we've been standing for 4 hours. Come on, let's go get it.
We're making another push. We should be about $1.75 from them. The wind is killing it. Maybe that'll help us, I don't know.
Yeah. Go get him in, boy. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't get this camera focused for nothing. There's that running rascal. How fast did that happen? I said we should be about 75 yards away.
Did you see how I shot him?
Yeah.
Did you see how I shot him?
And he's like, where? I was like, right here, lean over to me.
I shot that mug just like this, boy. I pulled that thug on him, that gangsta nasty on the side like that. But there was one of them,
one of those cabbage palms?
Yeah, cabbage palms, stick him in the cheek. I hit him.
I have no idea if I got that on video or not. I was zooming in, trying to get focused, and I figured out I hadn't even hit record, and I hit record right before he shot, but I don't know if I got the turkey in focus or not.
You said we still had 75 yards, the next thing I know. Woo!
We caught up with him, Drew. We caught up with him.
Look at that one, boy. He broke the tip off that one. Look at that one, boy.
That was razor sharp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even have time to get excited. I looked up and I saw that head. I said, that ain't no Jake. I said, Drew, here he is, right here. Right here he is. Right here he is.
You said that's him. That's gotta be him, I thought. So is it right there?
Yeah. Right around that palm.
Let's go, baby. You see how red that rascal's head was?
I mean, he was vibrant. I mean, there was no doubt. When I saw it, I said, that is no Jake.
Well, what time is it right now? It's 11:30 on the nose.
He gobbled this morning.
What time? We're walking in on some different turkeys that we semi-roosted, not really roosted, but we knew we'd be in the area and then we could hunt them. And this mug gobbles what?
45 minutes before it breaks. So he was probably gobbling at what? I guess now with the time change, it's going to be 6:20.
That's a big old bird.
That's a big joker right there, son. That is a big old joker.
I gotta find that shell hole. It may be in that creek or canal.
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm gonna tell you, son, I don't know what I did on 130/20, but I was rolling them things right. That rascal's pretty heavy too.
He had him a pile of turkeys. He
man.
Followed him around. God, he was brilliant when he was strutting out there too. Long-legged jokers, ain't they?
Yes, sir. As long as I'm out here by daylight, I mean dark. I'm good. Man,
Done shedded them boots, ain't you?
Whew. These things ain't made for long hauls, Dave.
Got you some shoe goo on the edge of that thing, ain't you?
Straight out of Georgia, boy. And then I let the water come over that one this morning anyway.
You got a problem with a hole in the top of them boots too, don't you?
I
don't know why they leave a hole in the boot like that.
Tight.
Yeah. I get water in that same hole every time.
What you have here? You got a big old belly. You got a big old belly. Some skinny legs. I think he might be kin to my daddy. That's a pop.
Oh, Pop's got that belly and them skinny legs, don't he?
Get the legs, boy. While you're riding the killie, they say.
You guys have another interview with wind issues. If you can't tell, we're struggling down here. Making it tough, boy.
He's making it real tough, huh?
Making it tough, but it helped us kill this. And
yeah.
Yesterday I said them turkeys recruited the wind and fooled us, but today
we learned how to use it to our advantage.
Yep, we used the wind to our advantage. Turned the tables on the old boy.
You get one of them.
You want one of these?
Yeah.
Look at my little old holder.
Woo. About time for a new one of them.
He done took a whooping, ain't he?
That holder right there looks like it's been crawled on a few times.
This old holder been... Uh-oh, there they are.
Here's you one. He's gonna blow away. You know, Drew, there's lots of ways of killing a turkey.
All right.
And you know what we experienced today?
One of them.
One of them.
That's right. That's one of the best ways too. Kind of beat him in his own game. Right?
Yeah.
That slipping around everything.
You look at the day, you find the weakness in the day. Today, the weakness wasn't rain, it wasn't the conditions to where you could hear the jakes caulking or the hens clucking to give away their location. Today, the weakness was the wind. We was about probably a split second away from full in this opportunity.
Yeah.
I didn't know when I looked back at you and said we're about 75 yards away that there was one palmetto frond between us and him.
That's right.
There was literally one. I came around that thing and I said, uh-oh.
Well, I was saying I wasn't in mode yet.
Yeah.
Well, I stay in that mode, but I wasn't in the, I hadn't turned the volume up on it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you was like, oh, there he is right there, right there. I didn't know what you was talking about at first.
Still lit.
The flame when I couldn't see the flame, and then it come back to you. You're stay lit.
You better watch out, that thing will light stay lit now. That ain't no big.
He was a step ahead of us 3 or 4 different times, wasn't he?
Mm.
Drop a pin.
Like you said though, when you said, what did you say this morning when we laid our eyes on him? Something about might not kill him, but we'll follow him all day, won't we? I said, as long as we keep our eyes on him, we're gonna follow this joker. Cat and mouse, man. He'd make a move, we'd make a counter. He'd make a move, we'd make a counter. Well, considering the windy conditions, I don't know if your first Florida trip could win any better, boss.
That's about the only thing I'd change about it. Nah, I don't think I'd change that.
Because we may not have him hanging here without it.
Hey, I hope you like what you're seeing. I certainly do. Remember, if you can't catch it right now, go to the Mossy Oak Go app. It'll be available there, and it's always free.
Every year I get to hunt turkeys a lot of different places across the United States. Everyone has their favorite places to hunt, and like I said, I've been able to hunt all over the place. But one place that I make sure that I stop every year is out in western Oklahoma with my good buddy Todd Rogers at Rut and Strut Guide Service. I guess what brings me back every year to Oklahoma is 1, Todd puts up with us, and 2, the overall amount of turkeys. You're gonna see a lot of turkeys. You're gonna hear a lot of gobbling. You're gonna get a lot of aggressive gobblers working with decoys. It's not like most places you get to turkey hunt.
Just packing up the truck here. We're leaving for Oklahoma in the morning. It's our first big trip, so excited to get going, but on the other hand, it's going to be a little bit bittersweet for me this year. I've got a 9-month-old little girl, Claire, that has absolutely stole my heart. I'm excited to go hunting, but on the other hand, I wish I could be at home with her, and I'll be just as excited to get home and see her. So it's a new beginning for me here this spring, and I know it's going to be tough on the road, but we'll go hunting and we'll get back home here and see Mama and the baby.
Others disappoint and drown.
Go, 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 go.
Ah, they're gobbling. I won't let you down.
Back in my favorite place in the whole world, Oklahoma. Ain't been out of the truck 2 seconds, hens are already calking. So I'm gonna say that it's gonna be on in there.
Turkey sounds just like you. They didn't gobble at it. We don't like it.
You know, that's the one thing I think we did do wrong in Mississippi. I didn't get with them. I didn't hit them with the fly down aggressive enough. The fly up cackle. We should have did some more fly up cackles.
No, I think you did good. That calls perfectly fine stuff together.
I notice how we get out and walk around and scout where Josh is gonna hunt. We just blow past where I'm gonna hunt, just drive through there. Like, yep, that's where you're hunting. Whoa. See you later.
Well, we already called to those turkeys all morning.
I've never seen so much just turkey sign in one spot. Tracks on top of tracks. Scat, dust bowls.
Yeah, they're pooping here too. I've never seen it this still in Oklahoma. 0 wind. I've never been to Oklahoma. There's 0 wind. I guess it's making up for the big storm coming in Saturday. It's probably 60, 0 wind now. It's supposed to be 13 degrees wind chill Saturday morning. So I feel we're going to see some wind before we leave.
Yeah. I mean, it's cold too. We've been spoiled the last couple of years. It's been really nice.
It was cold one year.
What?
It was cold one year.
Not like 13 degrees cold.
No, that's worse than deer hunting cold. I don't mind the cold, but it's April. I've kind of got used to not having it.
Yeah. Let's get out here and go check some more spots. It's 7 o'clock now, so.
You sure you don't want me to give him a call?
Go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead. Let's see what happens. It'll be the last time you call in this spot.
Oh, you can't keep me from calling. Nope, we've been to Josh's spot. We've been to my spot. Both of them's loaded up with turkeys, so I'd say we've seen all we need to see. I'd say we load up, go get some rest, come back in the morning.
And we've got a new secret weapon that you haven't even got to see yet.
New decoy?
New Jake decoy.
Remain to be unseen.
Yeah, JR, it's really cool. It has different colored heads.
Wow. Can you just interchange them? I always thought it would be phenomenal to have a decoy. And you could change its head. Like, one head showed an aggressive mood, another head a calmer mood. And while we're doing it, maybe even a happy mood head. It's cold. If it was deer hunting, I would say this would have them up and moving, but we're turkey hunting, so this is a little ridiculous. But there's turkeys here, so it's gonna get fired up.
They gotta be tucked back in that pocket.
They either went left or right.
Huh?
They either went left or right.
I guess they went left. If they went right, we'd see them.
Well, that's good. We want them to get out of sight to the left.
Yeah, let's loop back up and around down that draw.
Yeah, they're gonna be right in there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think these ones will play.
They just acting kind of mean. They could be on the other side of them trees right there. See them? They're right here.
They're right here. Let's back up these trees right here.
But no, the 5 or 6 longbeards we've seen, they're coming. They're coming on their own right now. So let's sit right here and see if we can get them here. They're gonna be here any second. Here they are. They're here. 12 o'clock.
Can you film to the right of that decoy?
Just to the right, I'll tell you what.
Okay, there's a post in my way though.
Chilling.
It's brushy bad. Wait a second, join.
Yep.
There you go, right there. That's how fast it can turn around. It's been rough. 2 minutes, got turkey killed. That's great. They come in. I had a little post here in front of me and I couldn't shoot for a long time, but he finally got through there and he's a pretty turkey.
I think you just killed the first turkey over that new prototype Jake decoy.
I get pretty antsy. If he had to step off a little bit, your new prototype was going to be wrecked because I was fixing to touch her off him right beside it.
Now we're just driving around. It's been windy and chilly, and like we said, it's more like deer season today. It's cold. On days like this, these turkeys like to get down in these bottoms and stuff, so we just kind of been working the edges of these bottoms, and we almost walked right up on them. We actually got to this rise right here, and there were some gobblers strutting out there about 100 yards, and we just eased back, and it was kind of a fire drill, set decoys up quick in a matter of minutes.
I love it. But that's the one thing I love. I guess deer hunting and everything's the same, but turkey hunting, you can go from having a bad day to the most awesome day ever, just bam, that fast.
You know, Mossy Oak Family Tree, it's not just our logo, which it is our logo. It's a way of life here, passing it on, involving the kids. My personal favorite, family tree. Check this out.
Every tree draws its strength from its roots. For a tree to grow to its full potential, it needs fertile soil, the right amount of water, and strong roots. The same is true for our family tree. The Mossy Oak tree is our logo, but it's also a symbol of who we are. In this episode, we dive into the family tree of Lanny Wallace as he takes his oldest son, Hayden, on a turkey hunt that he will not soon forget. Welcome to Mossy Oak's family tree.
Well, I really didn't start turkey hunting until I started working at Mossy Oak. But man, as soon as I got down here, heard about, how fun turkey hunting was, I had to try it. So I was in college over at Mississippi State, and there's a lot of public land access around, so got to spend some time in between classes, if you will. There weren't as many turkey hunters back then, I guess is the best way to put it. There was a little more freedom to roam and access, and I actually learned everything, in the woods right there in those public spots. So it's a real special place, for me. And not only turkey hunting, but again, there's something about those public turkeys that just, it's just really great. Hayden, he spent a lot of time, in the woods and on the water with me. We live in a pretty cool little spot, and I've got access to public water and public land right there from the house. So, he's been in stride with me the whole time since he's been old enough. I probably had him out on the boat the first time when he was 2, I imagine. He was catching flatheads, or we were catching flatheads before school when he was in, pre-K, and just on and there. So he's always, been my outdoor little buddy. There's no question about it. At the end of this winter, he all of a sudden, he said, "Hey man, I want to go turkey hunting this spring." He hadn't been turkey hunting. He got excited about it. It was youth season starting March 8th, and we talk turkey a lot around the office, needless to say, and there's a couple other guys, I won't name any names, Riley, that likes to, public turkey hunting too. So either way, we were just kind of talking amongst each other, and he knew about a spot that got, really close to where I started turkey hunting. They got a lot of pressure during the season. He had been in there early and heard a couple turkeys gobbling and thought it'd be a pretty good spot to start out since we had a kind of a week's head start on everybody. When you go in the woods and you don't think things are going to work out, and they just do sometimes. And that's kind of what happened this morning.
You got him. I can't believe it. How many did you see?
I couldn't count them.
We're actually hunting on public land. We're getting youth season in Mississippi, so got some good recon from my buddy Riley Payne about where some turkeys were. And we came in here, of course, you know, where we thought the turkeys were, they weren't. But we didn't get discouraged. We decided to loop around and just ease down this road enough. We saw them before they saw us, so we backed up, popped a little blind up, threw the decoy out, and, you know, yelped a few times, and here they came. It's really special to me because I killed my first turkey on public land, and I wanted, you know, Hayden to have the same kind of experience. Didn't expect in 100 years it would work out this morning. You know, as soon as he shot, I still can't believe it. That's for everybody telling the story at the end. I'm like, I can't believe it, but you know, it all was a blur at that point, honestly, and you know, you just gotta throw your hands up and you know, just give thanks and rejoice is the best way to put it for having that experience and it all ending well. I've always tried to be real careful not to force the outdoors on my kids, but you know, to see Hayden's passion, you know, during that hunt and now after the hunt, you know, it's all he's talking about is, you know, turkeys, 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 turkeys. It really, you know, it's really cool for me as a father and as a turkey hunter. You know, to say what I do and what I'm able to do for a living and allowed to do, you know, day in and day out is a blessing, would be an understatement to me. And, you know, to be able to experience that with my kids and my family. I mean, my wife, you know, she loves turkey hunting as much as I do. And be able to, you know, our whole family, you know, do that, it's a real blessing, you know. It's one of the main things, and it's at the core of, you know, what Mossy Oak is and what Mossy Oak stands for. And, you know, again, I just can't reiterate how, you know, cool and what a blessing it is to be able to spend time, you know, with your kids, with your friends, with your family, and the whole time, you know, not get trouble at work either because they understand exactly what you're doing.
At Mossy Oak, our family tree is the most important aspect of who we are. Taking the time to nurture and care for that tree makes the foundation for strong roots. As the old saying goes, you reap what you sow.
You know, the first time I heard the phrase calling through was watching Harold Knight and David Hale, which means you got a tough turkey and your buddy goes way back and calls and the turkey's focused on that. But the only way that works is if the shooter stays up there and he don't see a peep. If you watch these, there'll be some calling through.
So I kick off my spring hunting with Jake Reed, and he killed his first turkey with a bow. And I got an opportunity, Jake took me back to that same property. I got an opportunity to hunt that property, and we learned every time we hunted. We were basically trying to figure out, there was a couple of toms on that property, we're trying to figure them out. And we finally were able to capitalize on those birds. So the first morning, we thought we had them figured out. We were set up right underneath of them. And those birds gobbled and flew across the creek onto the opposite side where we'd been set up the day before.
All right, well, it's a rainy morning. We're really close to the roost on in this setup. And I can see a couple of birds on the roost. Normally when it's rainy out, they'll stay up there for quite a while. The ones that I can see look like they still have their head tucked, so they're not really looking to fly down. But hopefully we can get a gobbler to fly down and come and check us out.
After everything calmed down, we decided to just kind of do a little bit of surveillance. So we walked around, scouted the area to figure out where these birds were going in the afternoon, late morning. We wanted to figure out, we knew where they roosted, but where were they going to travel to? Because if we can get in the way of them, it's basically a deer hunting strategy. If you know where the birds are roosted and you know where they want to go, all you have to do is set up in between those two spots, and more than likely, they're creatures of habit, and they're going to fly down from the roost, either whether they're following hens or not. Hopefully they'll make their way within gun range. So we figured out where they were roosted, and we had a game plan for the morning. Our plan was to sneak in, figure out, check and make sure that they're roosted in the same area, and then set up accordingly. We actually snuck in, and we ended up setting up on top of a gobbler. We had a gobbler about 40 yards in front of us, strutting, gobbling on the limb, and we were set up so close to this gobbler that I actually looked up in the tree to see whether or not he was roosted above me. So we're working this bird, and I'm trying not to be too aggressive with the calls. My hope is that this bird will fly down right on top of us. But there's two other gobblers that are hammering just to our right. You know, what crosses my mind is, am I going to get an opportunity at this bird that's literally in the tree 40 yards in front of me, or am I going to kill a different time? So I've got these birds working in from the right. I've got a deer, really actually a pretty nice looking buck. He's got some pretty good growth for it being as early as it is in the spring. He's working in at 20 yards. I'm praying that he doesn't spook these turkeys. They're on their way in. Jake is to my left at 10 yards. I have no idea whether or not he sees these turkeys on their way in or not. I hope that he's going to see them in time. I'm basically just need these birds to clear this brush, and as soon as they clear the brush, I'm going to level one of them.
Woo! That is one of the more fun hunts I've ever had. We had a gobbler roosted right here in front of us. These two other gobblers come up, hen flew down to them, and I don't know if you guys could see this. I know you couldn't, but there was a buck. There was a buck standing right here at 20 yards. I thought he was gonna screw it all up. Let's go check him out. The Jebs and Federal TSS did a number on his head. Wow.
Ian Sparks is up next, and this is a super exciting hunt. He's hunting with his good friend Caleb. Caleb killed a nice gobbler earlier in the season. This hunt is a brand new farm. Ian's never turkey hunted this farm before, but he knows that there's birds on it. He knows where the birds are wanting to be. They're gonna set up. It's gonna be a fast, exciting hunt. So Ian showed up at dawn, and he had a couple of birds gobbling, so he was really quick. They got into the field, got the blind set up, and started working on those birds. So several birds were gobbling, and eventually a group of hens worked their way out into the field. And Ian was just waiting for one of those gobblers to fly down and make his way to the field. So after a few minutes, finally, a gobbler made his way to the field. Ian knew that he had to be patient and wait for that bird to get into range. And it took a little while, but eventually that bird made the mistake of venturing just a little too close.
I missed him. Holy cow. Watch out, watch out, watch out. One more. Dude. Nice. Holy crap. Holy smokes.
It's second day of first shotgun season here in Iowa, and I managed to get a bird on a farm that I've never turkey hunted before. I like to hunt different farms every year as much as I can, learn them, you know, so I can bring friends and family out and put them on birds. Well, this is a new 40 acres. We killed a good buck off of this here, and I just got permission 2 days ago to turkey hunt it. And first morning coming in here, killed, but I came in here and the birds are already hammering, threw the blind up, and 45 minutes into the hunt, we already had a good bird down. It's a great start to season. Between the youth and us, we've got 5 birds down on the ground, only a total of 3 days of hunting. So awesome, awesome, awesome. What a great day here in Iowa.
Man, I love the excitement of spring, and there's nothing more exciting than hunting a new farm. And in both of these hunts, I got to hunt a farm that I had really never turkey hunted much before, ever. And Ian, in his hunt, he was hunting a farm that he's deer hunted before, but he had never actually turkey hunted it. He knew there was turkeys there. He had to learn a little bit about where those turkeys are going to move to and how they move into that particular hayfield. And it doesn't get much more exciting than that. And that's what it's all about. We just love chasing that spring gobble.
Here at Mossy Oak, the passion for turkey hunting has been in our blood for a long time. That passion watered the roots for our initial introduction into making camouflage over 30 years ago with our original Bottomland, and is still growing today with our NWTF obsession pattern, which in our opinion is as close as you can get to disappearing in the spring woods. Mossy Oak Obsession, the official camouflage of the NWTF.
It has been an adjustment, us being in front of the camera instead of behind it, but it is still fun just to turkey hunt. No matter who has a tag. I mean, even if you still got to be behind the camera, it's still fun.
It's always fun to shoot. You know, you never turn down an opportunity to get on the gun. But at the end of the day, it's just fun to be out there and watching other people and getting to call them in and just watch the show. So the first morning, I went with John and his daughter, Aspen, right off the roost. I mean, it's dark, and you know, Rios have a tendency to they wake up early and they ain't got to be able to see the ground very good. They're like, I'm ready. Right. Like Pender said, they're excited to be alive and they're ready to go.
There you go. Kill him. Yes. She put the hammer on him. He's beautiful. What'd you think when he came in?
It was pretty.
Yeah, he came in and put on a show, flew right off the roost and landed out in this field and worked his way right around like he knew what he was doing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah? And then you squeezed the trigger and then what happened?
He died.
The Winchester melted him, didn't it?
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you
Very
too.
much. Good job.
It worked out perfect. And then we came back to the house, and John had actually just hired a new dentist. And he's like, hey, we're going to take London, and London's ready to go shoot one. He's like, I think I know where we can go find one. Another one of those, you know, like, I think I know where there should be one.
Yeah.
And so we go up there, and sure enough, this gobbler's out here in the field, and he's strutting with 2 hens. And we can see him from a long ways off. And so we circle around, and it was one of those kind of splitting hairs where, like, looking down the fence row, and he was just tucked around just a little bit of a corner.
We're either going to booger him or
where
we're
it
in
was
the right
like, if we
spot.
can get right there, we're either going to blow it or we're going to kill him.
Here he comes. We got hens coming. He's moving.
Yeah! That was awesome. I'm sorry you had to shoot him so far.
Yeah, it was all for you. It was all for the footage, you know.
How much fun is that? In the middle of the day in Oklahoma, it's hot, the clouds rolled in, cooled him off a little bit, and here he comes. He just couldn't take it anymore.
I snuck out there as far as I could. I couldn't get out in the field, obviously, but I put a hen decoy right on the fence. Snuck back over, and we started calling and working this turkey, and it doesn't happen often. Very rarely, actually, does it happen. They see the hen decoy, and it instantly
They got mad.
It lit a fire in
You know,
them.
that's the. I had the exact same thing happen probably a dozen times last spring with that Lucky Duck hen decoy. I mean, it evoked an emotional anger response from other hens.
There was something that triggered those.
Wow.
Which is,
And
yeah, which
very
is
effective.
Very
Oh,
effective
yeah.
when it works.
When that happens, just don't move and
Right.
screw it up like
Yeah.
that, because he's coming.
You know, just like Tom Kelly, Mr. Fox Hayes, Toxie's dad, is a national treasure. If you can only pick one to watch during the live app, check this out.
Started out, I didn't think I was going to get number 71. I just going to shoot up a bunch of trees. My 71st turkey season is not, it's been off to a good start and a bad start. They called some turkeys up, and I shot 6 feet over them. Couldn't figure out what in the world had happened. And about 2 weeks later, here comes 3 long beards, and lo and behold, I do the same thing. This again, except I'm getting closer. I didn't miss him with about 6 feet. With all of that, I was bound and determined to justify my existence.
I've been out of town entertaining the guests with Neil, and got back Monday, and Daddy called. He said, hey, I'm feeling good. It's gonna be too cold in the morning. I really want to go. How about Wednesday morning? And I was like, absolutely.
I do the farming stuff for Mossy Oak, Mr. Fox, Toxie. And we've been hunting off and on for probably 15 years, even before I come to work with Mossy Oak.
You know, I talked to Gary. Gary had already talked to him, and actually Gary and a friend of his both went out to listen 2 different places. And they heard, in one of the places, they heard several turkeys, which we didn't even know were there. And that was promising. The next morning we got up real early, got up probably 30, 45 minutes earlier than usual. Went over to his house. Grant had his little breakfast pack done and a baggie of snacks, just like she always does, to see him off, gave him a big kiss. I saw that good luck kiss. I was thinking, maybe this is the day.
Well, we went and got an early start and went up there, and got situated, and we had to go real early because we had to go by where we thought the turkeys were roosting. And got in there and got a good blind by a big, fine old oak tree.
There was a good spot on the very north end. There's a rise in the field. You know, you could sit there, see the edge of the field, also see back in the hardwoods, but you're hidden good. It was just a perfect spot to get in and get him set up ahead of time.
Daylight came and nothing happened, and I don't think the gobblers gobbled till they flew out in the field. And then the next thing we know, after about 15, 20 minutes, one of them got close enough that it was kind of on an Indian mound, and I still didn't see the turkey. Well, next thing we know, things are all silent, and the turkeys had gone south.
If it was just me hunting, or I was hunting with Daniel O'Neill or one of my buddies, we'd probably get up and move. But what happened after that is just kind of a proof to you that sometimes the best thing to kill a turkey is just good, plain old patience.
Toxie was still doing his thing, sounding like one turkey, and it sounded like 3 turkeys, and it sounded like a turkey fight and whatnot.
You know, I called and a turkey gobbled, and I couldn't course it. I wait, it seemed like forever, but probably, honestly, 5, 6, 7 minutes, I yelped, and a turkey gobbled so close. I was watching, and boom, there they came.
You did it. He's a big old longbeard too. Jay, what about it, Jay? We did it. Hot dog.
Thank you, bud.
I told you. I told you, brother. Big time.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, that's a beautiful turkey.
He is it's really beautiful.
Look at that dog. I love it.
You know, this particular turkey is not necessarily different than something lately, but what makes it really special to me is the same little fella I took 50 years ago and put him between my legs, and he killed his first turkey. He's the same fella that called that turkey up this time, and he was as excited about it as I was. So I think nothing, I don't believe, can mean any more to anybody than have your children or your grandchildren come along and participate in the things that you love. And so I think more than anything, that's what this hunt meant to me. Now, the fact that the rate I started out, I didn't think I was going to get number 71. I was just going to shoot up a bunch of trees, but it all held forth, and we got him in the deep freeze.
What a relief. I mean, you know, it was a big deal last year. It was late. It was a big deal the year before. It was late. But this year, I don't know. He missed so badly those first 2 times. He literally said something about, man, I guess I just need to quit, and it broke my heart. And he knew better, and we knew better. But I just knew how much joy it was fixing to happen, and I couldn't wait to get out there and get my hands on him and get back to Daddy. When I got to the turkey and looked back at him, he was just shaking. He was so excited.
I'm Fox Hayes. I've just completed my 71st successful turkey season. I'm looking forward to a few more as long as I've got my grandchildren holding me up when I go to the woods.
You know, everything happens in turkey hunting in the last 100 yards. They got to get that last 100 yards to come in. That's the tough time. That's when camo makes a difference. That's why Toxey Haas invented Mossy Oak. Check these out coming up and see if they get them within that last 100 yards.
In every sport, there are many people that are good at the game. There are far fewer that are great. And then there are those precious few that go beyond great. Those that are so immersed in the sport that it consumes them. They are the specialists.
I'm William Lester, and we're here in my studio where I make turkey calls. We're on the banks of the Sunflower River, and I've been very fortunate to live here 38 years, and I've been getting to make turkey calls here almost all that time. Well, I fortunately ran into somebody down at Valley Park about 30 years ago, and he had an old wing bone call on him like that, and I just couldn't believe how it sounded. Well, I tried to play them and make them, and I just couldn't make them sound as good as he could, and so that's when I started developing a trumpet call, and that was about 30 years ago. And all I can tell you is that failure was my best friend. you can't succeed without failure. And so I made a whole bunch of crummy ones before I finally figured out how to add these sound chambers inside the call. Then I can control every single call I make and make them all sound exactly alike. And what you have to do is you have to hunt yourself up some cane. After I cut them, I take a pair of calipers and I measure the cane and I try to find the ones that'll actually fit. And then I use a copper sleeve for the top fitting. And I use a copper foot on the bottom to protect the cane so it won't crack or break. And then the sound chamber slides up inside the call and there's epoxy in there. And then to hold all that together, I use a 257 Magnum Weatherby cartridge. I cut the primer off of it on the lathe. I send the calls off to a friend of mine in Jackson, and he engraves my name on it, and on this one it says cane carbon. So it's obviously a cane call with a carbon fiber insert, and then it has a brass mouthpiece. A lot of people in the industry use acrylic mouthpieces or a plastic mouthpiece called Darrin, and you can see it on that call right there. But I just went to this brass because I think it sounds better, and I think it's tougher and a little more durable. And a lot of people, what we call truncate their mouthpieces. In other words, they bring them to a, kind of a rounded off point. And I found that hard to play on my lip. And so when I designed mine out of brass, I put this big flat brass lip on it. As you can see, it's flat on the end right there. And so when you put that in your mouth, your lip, the fat part of your lip sits on this thing, and that's what actually makes the sound. And so you get a sound that is real bright and clear like that. And I can get it on every call because the mouthpieces are all exactly alike when I get to making them. And the mouthpiece simply slides down into the carbon fiber and makes the call. Now when you're working on these things, a lot of times after I put the calls together, each call has to be hand filed. Here's one that I turn these on a lathe one at a time. I have a friend that helps me. We have a CNC lathe, and these things are all turned to within 1/100,000th of an inch, so they all sound exactly alike. I was fortunate that so many people wanted my calls that I couldn't continue to turn each one of them myself. And besides that, this acrylic sounds a lot brighter and a lot more powerful than a wooden call does. You know, made out of Coca-Cola or persimmon maybe, or something really hard, or even ebony. This acrylic is even harder than that. And so the sound is brighter and clearer and more precise. So once all that is fitted together, then the calls have to be hand filed, and I file the mouthpieces simply by holding them in my hand like this. Hold the call, hold the file in my hand like this, and I just work on each one of them. I set each tip until they get to be the exact right flatness. Simply hold the file on my leg like that. I know this looks primitive and simple, but it works. And I turn each call. I turn the lip of it until I get the lip exactly right, where it's smooth on the edges. After I do that, take each call. I do everything by hand, just a piece of steel wool. I don't have a buffer. You know, I don't believe in having the calls all super shiny and all that, so I just buff them by hand. And you get a call that is a true hunting call. Because I know turkey hunters want every advantage. And when you carry a trumpet on you, you're able to make that unique sound. And here again, it's not magic, but it's unique and it's different. And turkeys will answer this call when they won't answer any other. So why not have one of these things with you? You know, all it does is help you just be a better turkey hunter and get a chance to get more turkeys to answer and more turkeys to ride home with you.
You know, some of the most critical decisions you make in a turkey hunt is during the first 30 minutes. Think about it. You got to decide on where you're going to stand to listen, unless you got one roosted, how close you're going to get, what calls you're going to make. The first 30 minutes is kind of the crucial time. Let's see if anybody coming up makes the right calls.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Spurs Season 2. We got Jonathan and Hunter. They're going to be out in Kansas. So they're new pro staff guys for us. and they do a great job, and they get on a good bird out in Kansas and have a good time.
Well, we've been chasing turkeys around all morning. It's pretty windy, so we didn't get up and get into our first set like we planned, and just been out trying to find birds, and once we do, we kind of try and make a move on them. Found a good tom and tried to make a move on him, and he skirted around us somehow or another. It was pretty thick, couldn't see anything, so then we got on a group of jakes and got pretty close to them and ended up getting a shot, but just shot over the top, we think, and not much we can do on that. So the way the weather's been, we're just gonna keep on grinding and stay after them. Just keep on trying to find some more birds and make a move on them.
But they're moving. Ready? They're still there. They should be right there. I'm trying to find a good one, but just make sure he's separated, okay? I'm trying to shoot one that's by himself. I was like, you can't not hit this turkey. Oh, straight Rio. It's a lot better time to film than last year, huh, bud?
I was just real nervous, dude. Like, after those first two chances, just like finally getting a clean shot where I could see the whole bird.
Dude, we had him pinched off perfectly.
second part of this episode, I'm gonna take my talents and go to our farm and do the best I can, and it's a long story. I'm self-filming by myself. I couldn't get a cameraman, but it turns out really good.
Morning, everybody. Indiana opening day. I got a big gobbler right down here. Been hearing him and seeing him for about 3 weeks, so finally get to get on him, and he's gobbling. He's right where he's supposed to be, and so Indiana, we're in Indiana, opening morning, and spur season starts here at our farm, and I'm so excited. We've been all over the country so far, killed a lot of birds, and so see if we can get one more. Stay tuned.
As I was trying to get to the field that morning, some of them were pitching out in the field. So I go around and I work this field as much as I can. I probably circle it 3 times. I decided to get ahead of the birds and set up. And sure enough, I look up and here comes the hens, and 6 gobblers are following her. As my barrel hits the camera, I just grab the camera and take off running to the turkey to try to get the best footage I could. And that's the trials and tribulations of trying to self-film. It's so great when you do have a cameraman and can have that guy just doing the camera work and you're doing the hunting. And but when you're self-filming, there's so many things that can go wrong. It's so hard. It's not as easy as it looks.
We got it done again. Oh my God. Woodhaven blue cutter. Oh, I can't even. This bird, you don't even understand. I never could make it to where I want to sit. He's down. I put the stalk on him. It's like the most unbelievable footage because, I mean, I hope I got the footage like I think I did. But I had to put the stalk on these birds. They were already out in this field. There was like 6 gobblers. I had no idea if I'd even get close to them. I mean, it's just, so I come around through the woods. Just kept peeping out there, seeing them. Got ahead of them. Let me get my bird for a second. I'll be right back.
I get out there to the turkey, and turns out to be one of my biggest birds ever on our farm. And
big, beautiful bee. Look at that thing. That's a good one right there, boy. So excited. New farm. Just blessed to be able to hunt these turkeys, and they're so pretty. They do such cool things. I mean, like today, that was so awesome. There was 6 gobblers, I think. I think there may be more. But they were fighting, and I mean, I could hear just flapping and popping each other, and just, I mean, just going on. The hens were cackling, and called a few times, and started, actually, I got the hens fired up, and they started coming, and they brought the gobblers to me. And so that's just a tactic that's good at times. I mean, sometimes, I don't think I would have got these gobblers to come to me had I fired the hens up, and the hens were, they were pretty mad, and they started coming and just cut at them and just mimic what they were doing, but a little bit more aggressive, and that brought them hens straight to me, and then along comes him and all his posse, because there was some gobblers in that bunch. Holy. Big, beautiful fan. See if I can get him around here. Thank you so much for joining in. It's been a blast.
Thanks for joining us this week on Spur Season 2. Next week, we're going to Georgia to see our good friend Kyle Shepard. Then we're going to move on down to Florida for 4 days. Hopefully I can get a good Osceola. Thank you for watching. See you next week, Spur Season 2.
Hey, coming up, we got some more from the Lindsay Way. And yeah, they're big whitetail guys, but I've learned that if you're good in one area, you're going to be good in the next. It just depends on if you have the itch or the interest. Well, trust me, they got it for turkeys too.
Red, white, and blue has beards and spurs. When he flies off the limb, I'm gonna rock his world. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die.
Well, we're back down in South Georgia for our annual hunt down here with Okefenokee Paul. We get to see a lot of old friends, eat some good food, and usually kill a turkey or two. First stop is to head to the infamous Blueberry Farm. This place is always produced for Paul. I killed a giant bird 2 years ago here. It's just a pretty sweet strut zone, and there's always a turkey in it. We were just mainly coming in to set up a Spartan cam, see what kind of sign was around, but we had this hunch to sit down and make a few yells. And sure enough, immediately a bird fires off, and within about 10 minutes, he's in our lap.
I always laid her in front of him.
Well, I'll do it for the decoy. What's that?
Go and get back to it.
Yeah. Tick crawling on me, baby.
My old hunt was right.
The Blueberry Farm. Yes. I was wanting to let him jump on decoy, but he was just wanting to strike. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. Appreciate it.
He didn't want to get off strut. Look at that. Look at them hooks. South Georgia hooks, baby. Right about a 20-pound bird. Thank the Lord. I was starting to think me and Derek's just snake bit for the year. We went to Florida. Came close, didn't make it happen. This morning, we scared that bird yesterday. Monday morning, we got too close to him, and then this morning, he didn't finish. That's what I knew, something didn't look right when I seen him. His feathers were a little wet. I was like, man, I was gonna milk it, but I was like, he just sitting there chilling. I'm gonna whack him. What we were just thinking about, I need to go get my phone. But we just put that camera out right here. Paul had one of his cameras there, and I said, let's get a cell camera in here. And all it is catching these birds walk down the edge of this little mowed path between this old clear cut and these live oaks. And then they'll feed out there into that old clear cut. It's a bunch of plowed up ground. But let me go get my phone and see if he's on it, because he walked right by it. I didn't have this one going to my email, just the app. Look at that.
Sure is. That's moments before he died, literally.
Yeah. He lived about another minute after that. He's in the shadows. Right there. Boom, walked right by it. What if we went to
After the kings of spring, longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. Day is done and the sun's going down. Another turkey's on his back in a grave he's found. The guys all giving me high fives. Another turkey's ready to fry. Another longbeard is ready to fry.
Hey, some hunts are just more special than others. This one coming up very special to me. My youngest grandson, Ben, AKA Cranky, hunting the devil turkey. And nothing better than a turkey with a name, especially when it takes 2 seasons.
Where are we going? To not go get the devil, to go get any turkey that walks out there. I'm ready to get this over with. It's not dark, it's darker.
I got some snacks. Yeah, got snacks in case the food basket up here ain't open, but I bet you he's there.
Did you sleep?
I woke up at 2:05 and just got on up. I was up since 2 o'clock. I woke up at 2 o'clock thinking about Cranky. We sitting ready. See their beard? Look at that beard. See that?
Oh, wow, that's long.
Oh, wow, that's long.
We better park the truck somewhere where nobody knows we are.
Cranky says he will come back. 4.5 hours. And he never got over 200 yards away. Cranky's had it. You ready, Crank?
Yes, sir.
Well, here we go with round 3. Cranky versus the devil.
We shot 3 turkeys, but we couldn't kill them because we gave them a fry. We gave him a fright.
What's up, dog?
Not much. How was your hunt?
My hunt was horrible.
Same.
We were that close.
Shoot it. Shoot it, buddy. Wait. He's too far. It's almost 8 o'clock. We heard a couple of gobbles at daylight, but it was still dripping a little rain. Not a good morning. Hadn't heard a peep since then. And I've only yelped twice, but nothing's making any racket. And we got a wide opening in front of us. I don't want to call because something comes up in there. They're going to be looking for a hen, and they ain't none around. So we're going to give it to about 9:30 or 10 if we can keep Cranky occupied. So that's the latest. Big goose egg. It's 10:30, 9:30 old time. We didn't get up and go this morning because had a bad storm come through last night. Still foggy and crappy this morning, but bam, man, the sun came up. My buddy called me and said, I didn't hear a turkey till about 8:45 and they still gobbling. So we went and got the whole crew. Cranky said I'm in, so we're gonna try to sneak down here to that blind, and this time we're gonna yelp. Is officially the last old school Primos breed there ever was made. It busted in the corner. Crap hole.
Well, we're back from turkey hunting. Same as yesterday. We didn't see anything. The only turkeys we saw were the decoys, which were non-shootable turkeys. So now we're doing something like turkey hunting, but instead of a gun, you got a fishing reel, and we're fishing. 7 fish.
How many?
So we've actually caught around 16, but we only have 7 in there. So we've caught 17, but we've thrown in little ones, but these are the eatable ones. Show them.
Oh.
Those are the eatable ones. And I've been just enjoying the beauty, petting them if they let me.
Go. No.
Every time somebody catches a fish, I run over to its location.
We're about to go fillet these, and when we get done filleting them, we might, or we might not, go back to the turkey woods.
Ricky. Go get him, Ricky.
Run, 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 run.
That's the devil. Go get him, Ricky. Hey. That's the devil. That's the big one. You happy? You got him.
What's the matter?
You happy?
Hey, why are you crying? I can't believe I got the devil.
Huh? Are you excited? Get over there by him. That's the biggest one of the three, too. Holy
so good.
cow.
I'm so proud of you.
He slipped it right by that tree with a 410. Hey, you got it over with.
The monkey's off your back.
The monkey's off her back. Everybody's back. And
So
Mama
proud.
and Daddy were here.
So proud.
Last time he ran off.
I know, we almost... Look, he didn't run off this time. You got him. He's yours. Are you proud of yourself?
It took us 2 years, and out of all turkeys, it had to be the devil.
Well, I think you earned it. Man, that's cool. I'm so proud of you. That is awesome. I would rather you than anybody else I know get that bird today. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And I got no words for you, brother. Congratulations, Pops. Hey, can you believe it? We killed the devil. You had to learn a lesson about perseverance out of that deal. Now Mr. Dwight can have his place back. Bless his heart.
I killed the devil.
Oh my goodness! Good for you. I knew you were going to do it today. Had a feeling. Was it an exciting hunt?
Oh my gosh.
You don't want to know what happened when I shot it.
I do. Tell me.
I started crying.
Well, that's okay. That's adrenaline. You get all excited.
I've only had one Skittle today, and I'm already this jacked up. Matt, fill the spurs. Fill the spurs. Fill the tip. Look at the beard. Matt, fill
You
the
got no idea. You got no idea.
Matt, fill this part. What?
I'm putting a feather in your head.
Oh. Matt.
That's now his lucky hat. Did you think we was ever gonna kill him?
I thought we were never.
Never ever. I didn't think we would ever get the devil. Man, I'm way happier than you.
I'm speechless. I'm so happy.
Are you speechless? All right. Well, let's go show somebody. We got to show Yaya and Matt. Holy cow, I don't know what to say. Hey, I hope you enjoyed what you're seeing here on the Live app. It's pretty incredible we're able to pull this off. Turkey season's rolling down a bunch of states, so be sure and don't miss Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on the Mossy Oak Go app. And always remember, hey, it's free.